Hey kids, why don't you hear about what Caleb thinks of the new youth group?
With our previous youth pastor, sometimes it was really boring, and now with Marty, we have this thing called Hip and Relevant Youth Group.
And hey Caleb, what do you think about the new pastor, Pastor Marty?
We really liked him. Marty, hip and relevant.
So take it from Caleb, kids.
I like better. You should come check it out here yet.
That's it, youth group! Ah!
That was really good.
One more game! One more game! Woo! Yeah! We're going all the way! Yeah! All we needed was that one big break! Yeah!
What break?
Why isn't your arm broken?
Well, my doctor says that my arm is fine. It's a miracle.
Listen, guys, we won with him before. We can do it again.
I got it! Keep your eye on it.
All right, Cameron, get the bat off your shoulder. Yes! Yes!
That's good. Ah! Keep trying to do that. Ah! Ah!
If anyone wants this to be the end of the year, just say so.
Hey, can you throw me one of those lob pitches again?
Looks like it hurt.
I wouldn't keep playing about it, right?
Like, guys, I'm fine. I just got hit in the helmet. That doesn't hurt. I'm gonna go take me some free base.
Bases loaded. No outs. He's on.
He's on. You're right, he's on.
Okay, no outs. On the ground you're running. Air, wait for me to send you. Watch that line drive.
Don't worry, I got my own plan.
Russell, there is no other
And
plan.
here comes my big plan. Everybody run! Go for it, go, we're stealing. Back. Hey. Yes! We lost. That's why you should run.
You should get in here! You're our best player!
Well, if y'all don't mind.
Ball game.
Everybody's gone. Are you okay?
I keep thinking about how we could have injured him or something. What's in your hand?
Well, what's in your hand?
Some really good news, actually.
Why don't we hear yours first?
Some donor stepped up to sponsor the team for all next year. Every dime's covered.
Hey, that's great.
Yeah, give me a couple months to get over this year. Then I'll be happy.
Oh, hey, before I forget, I've invited my brother to the award ceremony on Saturday. A lot of the kids are in his youth group, and I just thought it'd be good for him to be there. Is that a problem?
Whatever. That's fine.
No, What's the matter?
Look, I don't want to disrespect you and your family. I think you guys are great, really. And I don't want to step on your beliefs. I just don't have any use for God and church and stuff.
Yeah, I kind of picked up on that. Have you been to church before?
Oh yeah, I've been to church. My dad was a pastor. Seems like the only time he'd spend with me was when he's yelling at me for embarrassing him at church. My mom was the one that really took care of me. Yeah, she was still defending him all the time while he was away. I can remember finding her alone and crying. And the people at church, they always came up to me and talked about what kind of a wonderful man my dad was. Gee, I wish I knew him like that. I guess they just saw him in a completely different way than I did.
So that made you not like the church?
No, not totally. I mean, when I was a kid, I actually wanted to be a pastor. I mean, he was my dad, you know?
So, what was the tipping point?
It was when we found out that he was cheating on my mom. He was going with a married woman from our church that he's supposedly ministering to. I don't even think it was the first time. We became the family that everyone felt sorry for. And he still went on living with her, and he actually ended up in another church where he became the pastor because he had so much charisma. That's what God's like. I don't want anything to do with that.
Todd, that's not what Jesus is like. The reason why you find what your dad did so terribly offensive is that God said it was wrong to begin with.
My dad was a pastor. Isn't that the ultimate example of a Jesus follower?
No. Sometimes they can be great, but sometimes they can be the worst example.
Look, I don't want to argue. If it works for you, great. It's just not for me. Yeah. What was on your paper?
Cody and Brian won't be playing with us next year.
What? Why?
Here, it's a letter from their parents. Maybe I should read it. We were happy to give you a chance, but saw so much incompetence on so many levels in the coaching. We feel like we made a big mistake. These kids were very talented, but the leadership was such that they only arrived at half their potential. Russell has explained some of the trials of playing under your coaching, and I'm not going to go on because I don't want your blood pressure to get too high.
I don't believe it. I spoke to their parents specifically. We have to play Russell every game or we don't have a team.
What'd they say?
Oh, of course. It's better to have one problem on the team than to have no team at all. Don't they have a brain in their heads? Didn't they see me go get Russell from the concession stand 5 times? When he's supposed to be in left field? He single-handedly caused us to lose 4 of our games. How could they blame my coaching on one kid that wouldn't do a single thing that I told him to do?
What? Isn't Russell the ultimate example of who we are as coaches?
That's not the same thing.
I don't know. Don't you think God would ask you the same question?
Keep painting me in pictures that look like your dad, but he was a broken man. Come to me and see what kind of father I really am. Come to me, come and see. Come to me.
Wow. Sure, no, I wouldn't miss it. I'll be there.
Come and rest.
Okay, thanks, Joe. That was Joe. He wants me to speak at their team banquet this year. He says he feels like I've been probably an influence on the kids since they go to my youth group.
Oh, another church thing.
Olivia, this is a real honor for me. Maybe you'll be able to see just how important what I'm doing is when I go in speech.
Well, what should I wear?
Something very formal. Banquets are very formal.
Hello? Joe? Ready to go?
Hey, Marty.
Hey, this is kind of silly, but it looks like you guys are setting up for a picnic.
Yeah, kinda. You come from a wedding?
I kind of thought everyone was dressed like this.
I can hear the ocean. Hey, look who's here early.
Him?
Yeah. Just tell him he's cut from next year's team.
No, I think I'm gonna save that for something special. Maybe take him for a walk. Did you guys come from a wedding or something?
Graduation.
Huh, a funeral graduation.
Yeah, Uncle Bill graduated to eternity just today. His death and funeral was on the same day.
Miss Tessler, before we get started, thank you so much for that donation.
She donated the money for next year?
Let me see if I can remember her exact words. She wanted to make sure that you could keep showing these kids the love of Jesus the way that you and your wife have shown it to her.
Well, a lot of them have been coming to my youth group, and that's good for them.
Joe, I'm never going back to church. But watching you and your family and the impact you have in these kids' lives, who knows? Maybe someday I'll relook at some things.
Man, I don't think I'd ever hear him say that.
Well, you know, it just takes a little teamwork. You did what you did, and I stuck 7 tracks in his windshield last Thursday.
Oh, hey, I forgot to tell you, I invited Peter Christian. I know he's had a pretty big impact on these kids, too.
That's perfect. Great. I quit.
What do you mean you quit?
I mean I quit the ministry. Not a single one of them mentioned what an influence I have been on those kids. If what's his name with the hair and the teeth would come here and tell them what an influence I've been on him, I've been like a second dad to him.
So you're quitting because nobody's paying attention to you?
No, that is not it. That is not it at all. I am quitting because I'm working so hard and nobody's paying attention to me. You think one person would come up and say, hey, thanks a lot, Marty.
Thanks a lot, Marty, for taking the best parking spot.
There's a whole parking lot right there.
Well, what about the church? You told them you'd be their youth leader.
They should ask Peter Christian. They asked Peter Christian to barbecues. They asked Peter Christian to pray. They asked him to be associate pastor. They should be the youth leader. He can do it all. Peter Christian. Peter walks on water. Christian. Christian, how could you have a better last name? I can't beat anybody like that.
Yeah, but what are you gonna do for a job?
I think I'll become a coach.
And since your mom won't be sponsoring us, it is my sincere pleasure to announce that you will not be playing on the team next year.
You're the meanest man in the world.
I only wish I could do better.
I'm already over it.
Listen, when I'm through with you, you won't be playing any sport for anyone ever.
Not. I know you are, but what am I?
You're gonna wish you never met me.
I already do. I'm gonna shave all your dogs.
I don't even have any dogs.
I don't need your stupid team. I've got great plans for next year.
This year, I'm glad to be your pickleball coach. But this year, I want it to be more than just pickleball. I want you to be able to look at me and say, Coach Marty was more than just a coach. He was like a second father figure or something. Anyway, we've got everybody here except we're missing one person. Who?
Pickleball. Anybody can play. No one's too small.